How much does Zhongli cost? I'm sure you saw the title, and that's probably why you clicked on it. You want to know how much Zhongli costs? Luckily for you, this information will apply to any other future promo characters as well. So if you desperately want a Xiao or Ganyu, then you can use the information I'm about to give you to perfectly plan out the best way to get the promo characters you want. And I know that if you just look at the numbers briefly, if you just take a quick glance, it can be pretty disheartening. It looks like, oh man, there's absolutely no chance of me getting the characters I want. But as long as you plan ahead and have a good idea of who exactly you want to be pulling for, you can actually get in there for pretty cheap. So, a number I've seen thrown around a lot is $360. And the reason for this is because the pity timer is at 90, and you have a 50% chance to get him on the first pull. And if you don't get him on the first pull, you're guaranteed to get him on the next pull. So if you go to pity once, miss, and go to pity again, you've done 180 pulls, 90 twice, and each pull is about $2 if you use the $100 purchase option, which is the best deal for getting Primogems. So that comes out to 180 pulls times $2 per pull. You got $360. That's why that number gets thrown around a lot. But I'm going to let you in on a little secret. That number is wildly inaccurate. First of all, the game doesn't use a hard pity timer. I mean, it does have one. If you go to 90 pulls without hitting it, you will get one. But the odds of going to 90 pulls are very low because a soft pity timer kicks in at around 75 pulls, and that greatly increases your chance of getting it. This soft pity timer hasn't been 100% confirmed by MiHoYo. It's not guaranteed, but I was investigating it on my own because it seemed like the hard pity timer was getting hit way less frequently than it should be if there wasn't some kind of soft pity. So I looked at my own numbers, and I came to that same conclusion that around pull 75 there was a soft pity, which meant that you were usually hitting your 5-star between like pull 76 and pull 78 or 9. That was my own findings. And then I found this lovely Reddit post that I'll link in the description that did the same thing I did, where they watched whales do their pulls, mathed it out, and figured out basically the same results I got. So it's not guaranteed, but in practice, that's what you're going to see. At least that's what's been seen so far. MiHoYo hasn't confirmed it, so they could always change it under our nose, but at the very least, that's how it works at this moment. Because of this soft pity timer, when you get to around 75 pulls, it becomes increasingly more and more likely for you to get your 5-star pull. What this means is that in practice, you're very rarely going to 90, and most of the time, you probably won't even make it to 80. But what we want to know is, on average, what's the expectation? We want to prepare for the worst case, but we don't necessarily expect every promotional banner to be the worst case. So for an average player of average luck, what are you expecting? So I did what I always do, and I simulated it. I wrote a program that simulated pulling on the Zhongli banner with the exact same pity system and odds that the actual banner has. And then I rolled on it until I hit Zhongli, recorded how many pulls that took, and did it again. I ran the simulation 10 million times, and I had it aggregate the results. So we know exactly how many pulls each of those 10 million attempts took until it hit Zhongli. So I said that going till 360 was unlikely, right? I said that that was statistically uncommon, and you shouldn't really worry about it. To give you an example, it is possible to hit Zhongli on the very first pull you do on the banner from 0 pity. You only do one pull, you don't have increased odds at all, you know it's a 0.6% chance to hit a 5-star. And hitting a 5-star doesn't guarantee you Zhongli. It's still only a 50% chance. So if you hit that 0.6% chance to hit the 5-star, then you have a 50-50 to actually get Zhongli on that first pull. Of the 10 million attempts to pull Zhongli, I hit Zhongli on the first pull 29,727 times. This is statistically what you'd expect, because 0.6% of the time you hit a 5-star, half of those will be Zhongli. So about 0.3% of the time you hit Zhongli. 0.3% of 10 million is 30,000. We got about 30,000 hits of Zhongli on the first pull. Great. The simulation seems to match the statistics. It's fairly unlikely to single pull Zhongli from 0 pity, but let's compare that. Now, I want you to take a guess. Do you think you are more likely to go to max pity, 180 pulls, or less likely? And take a guess on what you think that number is. Do you think, 30,000 for a single pull? Maybe it's about the same. Maybe it's 50,000. Maybe it's only 20,000. You have a guess? I want you to really pick something in your mind. All right, the answer? We went to max pity, 180 pulls, 248 times out of 10 million. We got him in a single pull 30,000 times. We went to max pity 250 times. You are 100 times more likely to get him in a single pull than you are to go to double max pity, to go to a full 180 pulls. In fact, the percentage chance of that is 0.0025% chance. It's extremely unlikely. So using that $360 number is very misleading. Additionally, we only went to 170 pulls or more 15,000 times. So you're twice as likely to get him in a single pull as you are to go to 170, 171, anything above that. So those extreme numbers also not useful. We want to really focus on what the average number of pulls it takes to get the promo character is. For this example, it's Zhongli, but it applies to anyone. That number, averaging out across 10 million attempts at pulling Zhongli, was 90. It takes approximately 90 pulls to hit Zhongli. That's very funny because it's also the hard pity number. The reason it's 90 is because, thanks to the soft pity, on average it takes about 60 pulls to hit a 5-star character, and you have a 50-50 chance of getting Zhongli. So 50% of the time you get him in 60, and 50% of the time you get him in 120. Average those together, you get about 90. So that gives us a great number, right? 90 pulls times about $2 per pull puts us at about $180 for Zhongli. Problem solved, right? Not quite. Using the $2 per pull number is useful. And if you just want to know hard, strict terms, if I want to pay until I get Zhongli and do nothing else, how much am I spending? That's about right. But buying Primogems isn't the only way to get them. And the question I became really obsessed with is how much am I spending per banner to keep up? You know, because I play the game every day. I do my dailies, I collect my Welkin Moon blessing, I do my battle pass, I advance an adventure rank for Primogems. I do all the events to collect all these Primogems, right? If I'm collecting all these Primogems and logging in every day, how much am I going to need to spend on top of what I'm earning to get every promo character? And if I don't want to spend any money, how can I budget these Primogems that I'm earning to get the promo characters that I actually want? I think that's the useful information for a lot of you. I don't think everyone out there is like, I want to drop $120 every 3 weeks to get all the characters. I'm playing Pokemon. I am doing that, but I have a problem. So for my free-to-players or my people who only use Blessing of the Welkin Moon, this part is what you're going to need to budget those Primogems to get the characters you want specifically. So we've answered the question that on average it's going to take 90 pulls. Each pull is 160 Primogems. Multiply them, you get 14,400 Primogems. So 14,400 Primogems is how many you will need on average per banner to get each banner character. It averages to 90. More often, you're going to need 60 than 120, 60 than 120, but it averages out to 90, so that's still the easiest way to do the math. So the first thing I want to count is the Welkin Moon. I know I just said, free to players, this part's for you, but the Welkin Moon is only $5 per month. It's very inexpensive, and it's the best source of Primogems you're going to get for your money. So if you're paying any money at all, Welkin Moon is the most sound investment. And I have gotten the Welkin Moon on repeat every month, so it's the first thing that comes to mind for me when I'm thinking about this kind of investment. If you're not going to buy the Welkin Moon, you're going full $0 spent, then just ignore the Primogems from this. The way the Welkin Moon works, you probably know, is you get a 300 bonus when you buy it, and then you get 90 per day. This adds up to 3,000 Primogems over the 30 days you're playing. Now, a banner only lasts 3 weeks. We're going to have to do that math a lot throughout this video, where we take how much you're expected to earn for a time period, extrapolate that for an every 3-week period, because that's how long the banners last. It's very easy because it's 3,000 over 30 days, it's 100 per day. So across 21 days, it's 2,100. So that 2,100 from the Welkin Moon, if we subtract that from our 14,400 gems, we're now at 12.3k. Next thing is you want to do your daily commissions every day. There are 4 daily commissions. Each of them give you 10 Primogems, and then you get 20 Primogems for completing all 4 and turning it in. That's 60 per day. 60 per day times the 21 days of the banner is 1,260 Primogems. We can subtract that from the total. It brings our 12.3k Primogems down to 11.04k Primogems. Then every 2 weeks there's a seize the day, where if you log in for 7 days, you get 300 Primogems. Extrapolate the 2-week period of that across 3 weeks, you're getting about 450 gems for your seize the day. Subtract that from our 11.04k, and now we're at 10.59k. The next thing I want to handle is the Battle Pass. The Battle Pass lasts for 2 banners, so essentially you're paying $5 per banner for it. The Battle Pass will pay for itself. You get more Primogems out of a Battle Pass than you would if you just paid the $10 for Primogems instead of getting the Battle Pass, and then you also get a ridiculous amount of other resources, crystals, books. The Battle Pass is a great deal at the $10 mark as long as you finish it. It's a great value. Again, if you're not planning on buying the Battle Pass, which I'd highly recommend, but if you're not planning on buying the Battle Pass, then you can exclude this batch of Primogems from your calculations as well. But the Battle Pass will give you 4 Intertwined Fate for the promo banner, as well as 680 Primogems. You add this together, and you get 1,320 Primogems, but each Battle Pass is 6 weeks, so you only get half of those. So for the $5 for your half a banner, you're getting 660 gems. And this brings the cost, if you subtract that 660, down to 9.93k. We're under the 10k mark. That's great news. Next up, I want to talk about the events. These are a little bit harder to measure because we don't know what events we're going to get. get. And at any point, if miHoYo starts being a little bit stingier with the Primogem rewards, then it's going to be harder to get these event Primogems. But so far, I've noticed a trend of the sweet spot is I think they want the events to give about 60 per day, the same way the commissions do. You know, we had the gliding event that gave 60 per day. Now we have the food event that gives 60 per day. The food event and the gliding event overlapped for a little bit, but I think that was to make up for the official event, which gave a bunch of other resources, but didn't quite give 60 per day. And then we also, at the same time, had like the weird Liyue Harbor thing with Zhongli and Child to give some gems as well. I think it averages out to about 60 per day. I feel like that's a nice safe estimate. I don't want to give you guys too much of an estimate so that you are underprepared for the banner you really care about. But because it's 60 per day, it's the same batch as the dailies, about 1260 for the 3-week period of the banner. We can subtract that 1260 from our 9.93 and we're down to 8.67k, 8,670 Primogems remaining. Next up, the Spiral Abyss. Now, the Spiral Abyss is hard, so you might not even be at a point where you can beat it yet. I know it's tough, but if you manage to complete the Spiral Abyss, the repeatable levels, you get 600 Primogems because it's 50 per floor, 3 floors is 150 across 4 levels, 9 through 12, which gives you 600. These refresh every 2 weeks, so if we extrapolate that 600 from Spiral Abyss across 3 weeks, you're getting 900 Primogems for beating the Spiral Abyss. Your goal, if you want to be maximizing the money out of Genshin, you want to be getting the Spiral Abyss completed as soon as you can. I mean, I'm still struggling with it right now, but it's really worth the investment. But anyway, subtract that 900 from our 8,670, and we're down to 7,770 Primogems, the 7.77k. The next category is also a bit of a hand-wavy one, but we have like the Apologems and the rewards and the codes, the stuff they give out. These are inconsistent. You can't quite rely on them, but so far over the past like 3 months of playing or however long it's been, they have been pretty consistent, and I've been chronicling when I get them. I found the average to come out to a little bit higher than 1,200 every 3 weeks, but 1,200 was kind of what I felt was like a nice minimum level. Again, I don't want to estimate too high and have y'all underprepared for the banner you care about, but it's about 1,200 in that category of gems. So we can subtract that 1,200 from our 7.77k and get us down to 6.5k. It's like 6.57, but about 6.5k. So we're doing really good on reducing the price. The next thing we want to consider is Stardust and Star Glitter. Stardust is the one you get from every pull. You get like 15. Star Glitter is the one you get from when you hit a duplicate. There is a Stardust shop and a Star Glitter shop. In the Stardust shop, every 30 days you can get 5 Intertwined Fate and 5 Acquaint Fate. You should get the Acquaint Fate, but we can ignore that because we're just talking about the promo banner. So you get 5 every 30 days. It's not quite 5 per banner since a banner is only 3 weeks, but because it's 70%, it's about 3.5 pulls worth. And that 3.5 pulls worth that you get just by a facet of the fact that you're doing pulls is very valuable because that's like 560 Primogems. And that 560 Primogems pulled from the 6.57 puts us at almost exactly 6k Primogems. We're at 6,010. And then we need to consider the Star Glitter. Now the Star Glitter is a little bit tougher to estimate because it depends on how many duplicates you pull and how many you have. It's not guaranteed. It's like, what if you just keep hitting uniques? Of course, you'll get more Star Glitter the longer you've been playing, but it's very hard to calculate an average. So I did what I always do, and I wrote a simulation for it. The simulation proved useful because it gave me a number, but no matter how hard I tweaked the settings of it, it mostly would spit out between like 11 and 15 Star Glitter, which means I think it's safe to estimate 2 pulls because they cost 5 each. You can estimate 2 pulls from Star Glitter, which it's 320 Primogems, which isn't a lot, but hey man, I'll do anything I can to bring this number down a little bit more, make it a little bit more cost accessible for me. So we subtract that 320 and we're at 5,690 Primogems. That's how many Primogems you have to buy per banner to, on average, get every promo character. This is assuming that you get the Battle Pass and that you get the Welkin Moon. You fully complete the Battle Pass, you do all of the events, you do your dailies every day, but these are all the repeatable sources of Primogem income that you can have. You can do these every banner. They're infinitely repeatable. And it earns you about 8,710 Primogems from doing all that stuff. So that 8,700 is what you're getting, and the 5,700 is what you need to supply. So, given that, if you have to buy 5,700 per banner to get every promo character, what are you spending? Well, that 5,700 is almost exactly 70% of 8,000, which is how many you get when you spend $100. You actually get 8,080, but it's almost 70%. It's about $70.50 worth of Primogems. And I didn't take into account like the 20 you get for every banner's like new try them out thing. Like when you try Zhongli, you get 20. I didn't include that. There might be a few other repeatable sources that bring it to pretty much exactly $70, but then you're also spending 3.5 on the Welkin Moon and another 5 on the Battle Pass. You should expect to spend $75 to $80 per banner if you want to get every promo character. That sucks. But you do have to consider, I didn't count any primo gems from increasing your adventure rank or getting achievements. I didn't include the first 8 floors of the Spiral Abyss. I didn't do chests. I didn't do anything that wasn't repeatable. You can earn some more primo gems. So if you are able through playing to consistently earn 6,000 primo gems every 3 weeks, that doesn't include the repeatable sources, this is just chests and exploration and blah, 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 then you can get every promo character essentially for just the $10 you're spending on the Welkin Moon and the Battle Pass. Now, that might be disheartening if you want every promo character that is that expensive, but it also means that if you don't want every promo character, you can very carefully calculate using those earned gems that are repeatable every 3 weeks to pick the promo characters you want to hit. You can easily do every other banner. You're earning 8,700 and you only need another 5,700 to get there. Well, if you put two 8,700s together, that more than covers it. You're like 3,000 in the green. So decide, I want Zhongli, so I'll skip Albedo because I want Ganyu. And then I want Xiao, so I'll skip whatever's after Xiao. That's the decision you have to make if you want to go free to play, or just the Welkin Moon and Battle Patch, which I definitely recommend. But even a free to play player can just get there unless they get really unlucky. So that's the other thing. Once you hit that first 5-star, if you go to 60 pulls and you really want Zhongli and that first pull is like a Mona, it doesn't mean that you're gonna get Zhongli in your next 30 pulls. It means that on average, you're another 60 pulls away. So if you want to, you can actually instead save up 19.2k, which covers you all the way up to 120, which is kind of prepping for the worst case. So if it's a character that you would be heartbroken if you missed, instead of using the gems that you earned from just the previous 2, you can save up a little bit more, because unfortunately 2 banners doesn't quite get you to 19.2k. It's about 8,700 times 2. It's close, but it's not quite there. You can probably, in the 6 weeks of playing, make up the difference from adventure rank and chests and stuff, but it's something to keep in mind if you want to play extra safe. So every other is pretty easy to do. Now, can you get 2 out of every 3? Just from the recurring primo gems, not quite, because 14.4 times 2, that's 28.8. But the 8.7 times 3, it's only getting you like 26k. So you have to make up a difference about 2,500 primo gems to expect to get 2 out of every 3. Now, that 2,500, you could just pay for. If you're using the $100 option, you're only using about $30 worth of it. And that's $30 across those 9 weeks of banners that you're using the extra to get there on, which is about $10 per banner. Add that to the 8.5, you're spending about almost $20 per banner to get 2 out of every 3. It's not great, and you could get a little bit extra lucky to get there. Or you don't even have to spend that extra money, that 8.5, because it's not too difficult to get that 2,500 from the non-recurrable sources, you know? Open a few chests, maybe do a couple achievements, grab a few Spiral Abyss levels that you didn't finish yet, finish a few quests maybe. As new areas come out, there's even more Primo Gems to gather that way. You know, over 9 weeks of playing, hopefully you could earn some Primo Gems. Even not getting the full 2,500 can significantly bring the cost down if you only have to pay half of that. But that's the way to get 2 out of every 3. You could realistically get 2 out of every 3 promo characters without spending any extra money other than the Welkin and Battle Pass. So that's what you have to plan around. Plan around the 8.7k you're going to be earning and the expectation that you need 14.4 per banner. If you desperately want, like, for example, if you desperately want Ganyu and you don't care about Albedo, skip the Albedo banner, save up the Primo Gems from that time, you'll be able to almost guarantee yourself Ganyu. Now, you might get really unlucky, but you're just playing the odds here. If you get really unlucky, then yeah, you got unlucky, that sucks. But you don't necessarily need to plan for being super unlucky. Just decide which promo characters you actually care about. I think that's why they announce them in groups of 2. For the free-to-play players, or the players who only do the Welkin Moon, the expectation is you pick one of the 2, and that's the one you get. Child and Zhongli, pick the one you want. Albedo and Ganyu, pick Ganyu because she's cute. Or just keep saving up so you can get like C6 Xiao, you know? It's your call. You know that it costs about 60 per promo character, and on the promo character banners, you can expect 2 out of every 3 to be a promo character, so you can do the math there, or if you desperately want to know, ask me. So those are the numbers. That's what you should plan around. In case you need any help, feel free to drop a comment and ask me, and I can help you plan out your Primo Gems to get the character you want. But I want to help. I got a lot of friends who aren't spending money on the game, or my friend Val who only buys the Welkin Moon, and I want to help them figure out how to get the characters they care about, rather than just like rolling and hoping for the best. And realizing how much it's going to cost me to get every single promo character might actually help me stop spending so much money. Do I really need Albedo? I don't think I do. I have every promo character so far, but maybe I don't need Albedo. Anyway, that's basically the end of the video. I think I gave you all the information. The pertinent information is that in pure monetary costs, Zhongli costs about $180, baby. But if you're playing intelligently, you can expect him to cost you about $75. If you're maximizing your income, you can expect him to cost you about $75. That's what you'd be spending on him. I don't know if $75 every 3 weeks is worth it for a promo character, but I guess that's for everyone independently to decide. Hopefully they keep getting more and more generous with these events so that can get a little bit of extra income. In case anything massively changes, if they add a bunch of new recurring sources, I might make another edition of this, so make sure you hit that subscribe button so you can keep up to date with the latest information so that you're playing Genshin as optimally as you can and try not to hurt your wallet too much. Additionally, if you like the video, then mother flippin' click that like button. You don't have to like smash. You can just lightly click it. It works. It doesn't really matter how hard you press. So just click that like button. Really appreciate it. And that's the end of the video. So if all you care about is the Genshin stuff, you can get out of here now. A few updates about my channel though. Haven't posted in a while. Part of that was I had to get a replacement mic. I bought the same thing, but I was having a lot of problems with it. I've also ordered a new camera because right now I'm filming on my phone and I can only film 5 minutes at a time and I lose a lot of footage. It's very frustrating. And then I have to sync this. It's a lot of issues. And I've also been busy working on Halo, but so a lot of stuff come up, but I'm going to try to get more content out, and let me know in the comments what kind of videos you want to see. Do you need more Genshin breakdowns? I have some ideas about some potential challenge videos for like Pokemon, maybe do some more game dev stuff. I have a few ideas floating around, maybe put my my game dev programming skills to more than simulating Genshin pulls. And that's when my camera froze for approximately the 7th time while I was recording that video. I did not realize that it froze and that I had lost the ending to my video, but I definitely recorded an ending to the video. For sure, I 100% actually recorded an ending to the video, and it was very good and not awkward at all because I'm very good at ending videos and I definitely know how to do it. Okay, bye.